Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Louder please. Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरण अरविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की ISKCON फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीडी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी ललिता विशाखा सखी की श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की श्री श्री गौर निताय की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Continuing with our next, earlier we discussed first four shlokas talk about arrogant things, Jada Bharat and inquires further, and 5 to 10 which we are discussing. Jada Bharat establishes the falsity of the material world. We saw up to 8th, 9th one. Evam niruktam kshitishabdavrittam असन्निधानात् परमाणवो मे पाये अविद्यया मनसा कल्पितास्ते Esham samuhe krito visheshaha. One may say that varieties arise from the planet Earth itself. However, although the universe may temporarily appear to be the truth, it ultimately has no real existence. The Earth was originally created by a combination of atomic particles, but these particles are impermanent. Actually, the atom is not the cause of the universe, although some philosophers think so. It is not a fact that the varieties found in this material world simply result from atomic juxtaposition or combination. Juxtaposition means they are side by side in the position, then or combination like that. Prabhupada in the purport says that atomic theory, protons, electrons, making atom, and all material existence comes into being. Scientists fail to discover the cause of atomic existence itself. The atom is not the cause of the universe. Then Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, these are all separated energies of the Lord. Lord is the cause of all causes. He establishes Krishna as the supreme cause. And Chakravarti Pad, he says, Earth at least is real. The word earth exists as a name only. Jadabharat is saying. Why? Because it is caused by atomic particles, asat. They are temporary, which are the cause of earth. Earth cannot exist except for these particles. Then particles are real. If earth is not real, then particles are real. These particles have been imagined by the mind out of ignorance by philosophers in order to explain the effects in the world we perceive. Therefore, particles are also unreal. The reason for this conception is described. A particular object such as earth is made out of the totality of particles. One should accept the total only rather than the parts. Little technical, but Prabhupada made it very simple. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Janmadhyasya yataha. These are all separated energy of the Lord. Bhumir, Apo, Analo, Vayu. Whether you take Bhumi as particles or Bhumi as whole earth, but they are all separated energy of the Lord, who is the cause of all causes. 10th one. Evam krusham stulla manur bhrad yad asaccha sajjivam ajivamanyata manyat द्रव्य स्वभावाशय कालकर्म नाम्ना जयावे हि कृतं द्वितीयम्. Since this universe has no real ultimate existence, the things within it, shortness, differences, grossness, skinniness, smallness, bigness, result, cause, living symptoms, and materials, are all imagined. They are all pots made of the same substance, earth, but they are named differently. The differences are characterized by the substance, nature, predisposition, time, and activity. You should know that all these are simply mechanical manifestations created by material nature. Prabhupada in purport, again similar way. Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Before that, is the actions and reactions carried out by the material nature are sometimes accepted as our scientific inventions. Therefore, we want to take credit for them and defy the existence of God. Kartaham iti manyate. So Prabhupada says Ishvara Paramakrishna. He has eternal form without beginning, and he is the origin of everything, and he is the cause of all causes. Actually, the original cause is Lord Vishnu, but out of ignorance, people think that matter is the cause of everything. And he quotes, from where has he quoted that? That is not mentioned. Is it mentioned? In Vedabase? Raja Gopta Shrayo Bhumihi In Vedabhas also not. Okay. Sharanam cheti laukikaha vyavaharo na tat satyam tayor brahmashrayo vibhuhu. Things are contemplated on the ephemeral or external platform, but actually this is not the truth. The actual protector and shelter of everyone is Brahman, the Supreme, not the king. So that Raja Gopta, Raja is the protector, Ashray, shelter, etc. Of Bhumi and all those. But no, Vyavaharo na tat satyam. But that is not truth. Tayor Brahma Ashrayo Vibhuhu. The actual protector, shelter of everything, Brahman. Then next one also, where is it from? That also is not given. No? Surprisingly, Prabhupada gives generally. But here, Goptri Chatasya Prakritis. That also he has not written. The actual protectress is the material nature, but Vishnu is her Lord. He is the Lord of everything. Lord Janardhan is the director both externally and internally. He is the cause of the function of words and what is expressed in all sound. Surprisingly, the quote, where is it from? I ignored it. Anyway, next is Shishnodharata Yadvad. Is it from Bhagavad Gita? Lord Vishnu is the resting place of the entire creation. Brahmano hi pratishtam. That is 14.8. But that one also, quote is not given. Where is it? So almost 4 verses where they are from. So you find out, homework for you all. Find out where these 4 verses are from. They are likely to be from one Purana only and likely to be in sequence because the point is more or less same. Only where is it is not mentioned. So you find out. You are all intelligent people. Good in research. At least in search. If you fail in search, then research. And let me know. And we can inform BBT, which is here only, at your doorstep, to write it then. Your Google Guru can help you. Guru may say, oh, Prabhupada has not written. I don't know. But Google Guru or AI can tell you. Would you like to rephrase your question? If it doesn't know, it will use very tricky language. As if I know everything. Maybe you have asked question a little wrongly. Could you be a little more? Huh? Purport by Madhvacharya. Purport of Srimad Bhagavatam and Madhvacharya. Commentary by Madhvacharya on Bhagavatam. Where is it found? Google Guru? Huh? Huh? Chat GPT. But that also must be quoted from somewhere, no?
It's Rupa Goswami quoting ordinary worldly people.
Yeah. Oh my God. AI, and I don't know what it is. And this is Chat GPT. This is maybe AI. What I don't know what. Huh? Meta. ठीक है. You find out. Anyway, we'll go ahead. Everything is made by Maya. Know that everything is made by Maya. Characterized by substance, etc. Okay, so commentary. One should know that everything is made of Maya, Ajaya. Characterized by substance, nature, mind, time, or karma, or distinct qualities like fine and very fine, Anuhu, big and very big, Brahat, cause, Asat, and effect, Sat. Objects with consciousness, Jivam, and objects without consciousness, Ajivam. So Maya's name is Aja also. His holiness Radha Govind Maharaj says. So all of us are Ajamil because we meet Maya in one sense every day or every moment. Aja. Aja is Krishna's name, unborn. So Aja, Krishna's separate energy. So when जीवा मिलता है आजा से तो आजा मिल बन जाता है. So we are all Aja मिल. So her name is Aja. So that Maya only Ajaya word is used. Made by her, made from her. So Aja become Ajaya. Sadasat. Sat means effect. Asat means cause. Okay, 11th. Jnanam Vishuddham. 11 to 13 is the Lord's qualities, His abode and bhakti are truth. After establishing the falsity of material world, He is going to now Lord. His qualities, abode, bhakti are truth. 11th. Jnanam Vishuddham Paramarthamekam Anantaram Tva Bahirbrahma Satyam Pratyak Prashantam Bhagavat Shabda Sangyam Yad Vasudevam Kavayo Vadanti. What then is the ultimate truth? The answer is that non-dual knowledge is the ultimate truth. It is devoid of the contamination of material qualities. It gives us liberation. It is the one without a second, all-pervading and beyond imagination. The first realization of that knowledge is Brahman. Then Paramatma, the Supersoul, is realized by the yogis who try to see him without grievance. This is the second stage of realization. Finally, full realization of the same supreme knowledge is realized in the Supreme Person. All learned scholars describe the Supreme Person as Vasudev, the cause of Brahman, Paramatma and others. Prabhupada in purport says the Super Soul is but an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sadaishwaryai Purno Ya Iha Bhagavan Sa Swayam Ayam. What is described as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, complete with all six opulences, is Vasudev, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from him. Sarvakarana Karanam, Vadanti Tattva Vedas, three features of absolute truth, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Krishna is that supreme absolute truth. There is no difference between Krishna's inner self and outward body. Krishna is Purna, the complete whole. Then Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyajimam Namaskaru. So-called scholars advise the reader that it is not the person Krishna to whom we must surrender, but the Krishna within. So-called scholars, Mayavadis, cannot understand Krishna with their poor fund of knowledge. So approach authorized person, Tadvidhi Pranipatena. Without approaching an authorized person, one cannot understand Krishna. And Chakravarti Pad has given a huge commentary. Would you like to hear? Tachrunu, just hear. Then what? And you can at the end, you hear attentively and try to figure out why he gave such a long commentary. Which he was not doing earlier. Earlier also Tattva came, he did give commentary. Why has he given such a huge commentary? That you can tell me. Commentary, hear attentively. Then what is truth? The previously mentioned truth, Tattva, is said to be that which is known by the authority of the scriptures. This has been mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 1-11 as Vadanti Tat Tattva Vedas Tattvam Yajnanam Advayam. Knowledge is truth, which is beyond the gunas, Vishuddham. It is supreme, from which arises liberation. It is without a second, Ekam. It is devoid of inside, Anantaram, and outside, Abahihi. That means it pervades everywhere. This knowledge is also Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Brahman means the impersonal aspect worshipped by the Gyanis. It is called Paramatma, Pratyak Prashantam, worshipped by the yogis. Prashantam means that in which the jiva is extinguished. Bhagavan is the aspect worshipped by the devotees. They say that these three forms are included in Vasudev, the son of Vasudev. who is the most complete form. He is called Purnam Brahma Sanatanam in Bhagavatam 10.14.32, as Krishnaya Paramatmane in 10.6.36, and as Tatastu Bhagavan Krishno 10.8.27. In the Gita, he calls himself the basis of Brahman, Brahmanui Pratishtaham 14.27. He also describes himself as Paramatma, Vishtabhyaham idam Krishnam ekamshena sthito jagat 10.42. He also says Vasudevo Bhagavatam. Among the forms of Bhagavan, I am Vasudev. 11.16.29 Bhagavatam. The word Bhaga in Bhagavan means Aishwarya or Lordship. This also implies those who are controlled by the Lord. Since the jivas in Maya are in illusion, as previously described, those controlled by the Lord means the devotees in the Lord's abode. They are eternal. The devotees and the abode of the Lord are both eternal truth. Like the Lord, they are proved by the statements of Scripture. This is explained in the first canto and elsewhere. Shraddha mat sevayam tu nirguna. Faith in my devotional service is purely transcendental. Bhagavatam 11.25.27. Man niketam tu nirgunam. Residence in a place where I reside is transcendental. Bhagavatam 11.25.25. Anything related to bhakti is said to be eternal truth as well. The intention of this section is as follows. O king, you have spoken of the material world made of Maya, proven by the senses, which has transformations which are eternal, sometimes visible and invisible. You must accept the temporary nature of these material things, since they are limited by time and place, according to your own opinion. But since spiritual objects are not limited by time and place, being completely different, they are not part of the material conventional world. You repeatedly talk of the conventional world. Other philosophers say this conventional world is false. This view has also been stated. However, even these persons do not object to the conclusion of the scriptures stated in the present verse. It has been said that bhakti means engaging the senses and body for Krishna. The Lord has said that bhakti is beyond the gunas. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya hi udhavrutam. Bhagavatam 3.29.12. This can be true in Parinamvad, where the effects are stated to be real. I can understand very well that the material body and senses become spiritual by the contact with bhakti, which is like a touchstone. In Vivartavad, however, the effects are said to be unreal. Therefore, the body and senses are unreal. Bhakti therefore has no foundation. How can it be said to be beyond the gunas? When the Guru at the time of teaching says, I will now teach about Nirgun Bhakti, the person taught is non-existent. How can the Guru teach? It is like sowing seeds in the sky. How can Krishna Bhakti exist? Moreover, how can prema arise through practice? Moreover, how can the Lord be controlled by prema? For the Lord with inconceivable powers, nothing is impossible. The Lord himself has said, Esha buddhimatam buddhir manisha cha manishinam yat satyam anruteneha martyanapnoti mamrutam. This process is the supreme intelligence of the intelligent and the cleverness of the most clever. For by following it, one can, in this very life, make use of the temporary and unreal to achieve me, the eternal reality. Bhagavatam 11.29.22. The meaning is this. This is intelligence because, yet, by the mortal body which is false, one attains the supreme truth, Rutam, me. Or one attains me, Ma, the form of the highest bliss, Amrutam. Anrutena Martyana can also refer to anything subject to destruction. The body, senses, pran, leaves, flowers, incense, fragrance, lamps, food, armor. That one achieves me by these items is intelligence among those with intelligence. This is the conclusion amongst the most elevated wise men. The method of obtaining bhakti is explained by the Lord. Martyo yada tyakta samasta karma niveditatma vichikirshito me tadamrutatvam pratipadyamano mayatma bhuyaya chakalpate vai. A person who gives up all karmas and offers himself entirely to Guru, whom I desire to make special, achieves freedom from death, and more important, is qualified to be an associate of mine in Prema. Bhagavatam 11:29-34. When a mortal being gives up all karmas, completely gives up the desire for varnashram dharma, and gives I and mine, Niveditatma, to me in the form of the Guru, when he decides with determination, I offer whatever I have in this life and the next to the feet of the Lord, then I desire to make that person special, Vichikirshitaha. Though he has arisen from a false conception before receiving mercy, I will make him divide of the gunas, nirguno mad apashrayah. He who surrenders to me is beyond the gunas. Bhagavatam 11:25-26. Not being affected by Maya, he is not temporary but eternal. Since he is not affected by ignorance, he is not false, but based on his Swarupa. Because he is the effect of me, he is beyond the gunas. The verse does not say, I make him special, but I desire to make him special, using the desiderative affix. This means that I begin to make him nirgun rather than suddenly taking him beyond the gunas. Gradually, by practicing bhakti and ascending through the stages of nishtha, ruchi, and asakti, he comes to rati and then becomes completely nirguna. Then at that time, he will not interact with false objects at all. Previously, he interacted with the material world as much as necessary. The meaning is this: by the Lord's inconceivable energy, at the time of giving instructions on bhakti, body, senses, and mind, which are beyond the gunas, are created by me, though invisibly, in order to show the greatness of bhakti. The material body, senses, and mind are destroyed invisibly. Naivam vidha purushakara urukramasya pumsam tadangri rajasa jitashad gunanam chitram vidura vigataha sakrut adadita yan namadheyam madhuna sajahati bandham. Such power is not surprising from persons who have conquered the six senses by the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord, since even an outcast becomes immediately free of bondage of karma by chanting the Lord's name once. Bhagavatam 5:135. The meaning is this: it is not surprising for such persons to create the world with 7 oceans as Priyavrat did. Even the outcast, Vidura Vigataha, who chants the name of the Lord once, immediately, Adhuna, gives up his body. Though his body is still visible, he gives up the body related to Prarabdha Karma, though this is not seen. Then the devotee attains Amrutatvam, absence of the symptoms of death, and is qualified for his position, Atma Bhuyaya. This means that he remains to serve me wherever I am. This is still explaining Srimad Bhagavatam 11:29-34. All the material objects which give rise to false conceptions lose their material qualities by association with bhakti. The Lord makes those objects the highest truth, favorable to the desires of his devotee. What is impossible for the inconceivable power of the Lord? The statement, service to me is beyond the gunas, and my abode is beyond the gunas, are true. Shankaracharya has accepted the following from Mahabharat, Udyam Parva. Achintya khalu ye bhava anatam starkena yojayat prakrutibhya param yattu tadda chintasya lakshanam. Inconceivable states are not subject to material argumentation. The quality in inconceivability is that it is beyond the material realm. By the word bhavaha, states, in the plural, one should not think that the state of oneness has been discarded, since all these states are one in the Lord. Thus everything is clear. Is it clear? Huh? How many of you understood what he wants to say in 1 or 2 sentences? You want to?
Initially, after describing the 3 aspects, he tells that how till now that discussion has been done, how everything is came from the earth and temporary, keeps on manifest. But still, if Lord wants, and by the bhakti to the Guru, the Lord make that thing beyond the gunas. And later he told that how by the bhakti one can, all the false material objects which exist in the world, they lose their material qualities by the association of bhakti. So by bhakti one can, even though this body is useless, But actually Lord makes it special. He desired to make it special, like that is mentioned.
Same.
Ditto. Okay, so nothing to say.
Their teachings are inconceivable.
Hmm.
They are beyond material accommodation.
Achintya khalu ye bhava tam starkena na yojet. It's beyond understanding. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
One who conquers the senses also, there is no astonishing thing.
There is no?
He says that he immediately freed from bondage of karma
Hmm.
by chanting the Lord's holy name.
So all are satisfied? Those who answered and those who did not. That day for yesterday we discussed, no? Swarup Damodar Goswami says, I don't know here or in PDC class there, that when Rupa Goswami visits Jagannath Puri, so there he had written Lalit Madhav or Vidagdha Madhav separately. So then there was Nandi Shlok, introductory verse. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, or Ramananda asked him, could you please tell what is that? So he tells it, and it is so amazing. So then Swarup Damodar Goswami says, what is the use of a bowman's arrow if it penetrates the heart but does not spin the head? This sentence itself is spinning your head. Because it could not pierce your heart, maybe. Basically, the bowman, he will shoot the arrow. So it will pierce the heart. And it will be painful, no? It has pierced the heart. But sometimes the arrow can be piercing the heart, but it is not so much of a problem. But it should spin his head also. In the sense that he should not be able to understand, ye kya arrow hai, kind of, Kshatriyas are very happy to get wounded and all that, no? That's not a big problem. So, arrows getting pierced here and there and hard, not a big problem. They may even die. But while dying, they should have that thought, kya tha ye arrow? It was spinning my heart, spinning my head, like that. I don't know how many of you understood. Basically, your body is wounded, but your head, intellect also should be wounded, kind of, or put to thinking, क्या था ये? अब मर तो गया वो एक तरीके से. Answer he did not get. So like that, it's quite intellectual. But we can become humble by reading these things. Prabhupada makes it very simple. This may spin your head, but Prabhupada, whole purport will never spin your head. In a sense, it will be very simple. What they call? Easily digestible. Just like mother did, no? Like this spoon feeding. Saralak or something like that. She's very easy. Or fruits, for that matter, they are called as pre-digested food. You don't have to digest fruits. You have to just eat them. They are pre-digested. I'm not talking about today's fruits, proper organic fruits. They are pre-digested food. Food you have to digest. After taking prasadam, they say Shatta Pauli and all that. You should walk for at least 5-10 minutes so that it will be digested. Or some devotees sit in what? Vajrasan, that helps. Or I think LSD also. We should not sleep. Should only lie down on the left side. Vam Kuksheti. That also helps in digestion. So there are some measures you have to take to digest food because it's heavy only. But fruits are not like that. Fruits are pre-digested food. Like that. So Prabhupada's purports are like fruits, pre-digested food. Very easy. Any Tom, Dick, Harry, any child can also understand. But anyway, you got an experience of what our acharyas are. Isn't it? And sometimes you can see Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport. Purport is what? This word means this. Because he doesn't have that style of every word, Sanskrit words, whatever that. Now what he will give? Sanskrit word, Sanskrit meaning only. So he doesn't have that style. But in the purport only, in the commentary only, this word means this, like that. And Prabhupada's If you see purport, it will be like 1-2 pages. And you'll wonder, ye kya hai? What did Prabhupada? So Prabhupada get some Mayavadi or some demigod worship and he'll be pounding on that like anything. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshadaya. But whereas Acharyas may not like that. It's very amazing. Variety is mother of enjoyment. So enjoy the purports of different Acharyas. 12th verse is very important. I think it will be there for memorization. Anyway, we will not memorize, but we can recite. Rahu ganai tat tapasa nayati nache jaya nirvapanad gruhadva nachandasa naiva jalagni suryer vina mahatpada rajobhishekam. Especially the last line is very important. My dear King Rahugan, Jadavarti is saying, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulations of householder life, living home as a vanaprastha, accepting sannyas or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water or surrounding oneself in summer by fire and scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. So that absolute truth, what earlier commentary of Vishwanath, we cannot understand. But you serve the lotus feet of great devotees, or take their dust and do abhishek of your body, and then you will understand. You have heard that pastime that I think Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, he had some questions. So he came to meet Srila Bhaktivedant Thakur. He said, I have some questions, could you please give some time and answer? He said, I am very busy, so maybe later. But why don't you just go to our devotee who is washing pots there? Maybe ask him, he will answer like that. So then he went to him and said, I have some questions, could you answer? He said, yeah, I will answer, but this service is also there. So after completing this service, it will take some 1 hour maybe, then I can answer. And then he said, why don't you just assist me, then it will become faster, and then I can answer. Then Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, the politician and big figure, but he had that humility and he said, okay. And both of them together, then it became fast, maybe half an hour. Then they both sat, and then the brahmacharya asked, okay, what are your questions? And what was the answer of Madan Mohan Malviya? All my questions are answered. You got the dust of the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur through this brahmachari. Bhakti Thakur only. Yuktasya bhaktamscha niyonjato api. Spiritual master engages in this deity worship, shringar, nana shringar, and then marjanam, mandir marjan. He engages all his disciples, and that disciple was accordingly engaged by Bhakti Thakur in that pot washing rod. And he assisted him. So he got indirectly or directly also the dust of the lotus feet of Bhakti Thakur through that brahmachari, and all his questions were answered. He understood the absolute truth like that. So life becomes very easy when we serve. We have to get on our hands and knees. Then it is not just intellectual gymnastic, scriptures. For that matter, those South Indian Brahmins in Srirangam, they had that intellectual gymnasm and they were experts, not only in pronunciation, knowing the meaning and elaborating and all that. But Mahaprabhu did not even look at any one of them. I don't know how many were there, but seems like at least 10-15 must have been there. There are many more, but those who were around, he did not look at them. And he asked that Brahmin only, who was fumbling or stumbling there, not able to read also properly. So Mahaprabhu asked, why are you crying? Why are you reading this when you have difficulty in reading? He said, my spiritual master ordered me that every day I should read Bhagavad Gita. So I sit in this corner of the temple and read. So then why are you crying? You see Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord and Master of all the millions and billions of material universes and spiritual worlds. He has become charioteer for Arjuna. What a lowly position he has accepted. How much he loves his devotees. So thinking of Krishna's love, Bhakta Vatsalya, I am shedding tears. Mahaprabhu said, you have understood Bhagavad Gita, and embraced him and gave him Krishna Prem. And he also said, You cannot be anybody else but the Supreme Lord only. He understood, which the other Brahmanas didn't ever understood. Yeah, sannyasi. So, okay. And the sannyasi also doesn't seem to be so great, because leaving us all aside, he is going to this fool who can't even read properly. So they did not understand him at all. They only saw him as sannyasi, that's it. Nothing beyond. But that Brahmin could understand, who was having firm faith in the words of his spiritual master. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasyate kathita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith both in the Supreme Lord Krishna and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. Divya Gyan Rudhe Prakashit, not Mastiki. You cannot understand, no matter how much you try to push and pull and stretch your brain cells. No way. Nobody can understand scriptures like that. But Atta Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriye sevan mukhe hi jivvado swayam eva spuratyada. Krishna's name, fame, qualities, pastime, which is basically the essence of all the Vedic literature, isn't it? Sambandha Gyan, all relation, Krishna, Prakriti, Jiva and all that. And then what are we there? You have to do some surrender to Krishna through some hearing, chanting, so remembering the Lord, Sravanam, Gitam, etc. And ultimately you develop Krishna Prem. You become mad after Krishna. And then when you are mad after Krishna, then what? You continuously chant Krishna's name, or you keep looking at Krishna's form, or the form manifests in your heart. Santa Sadaiva Rudeshu Vilakanti. Or Krishna's qualities, you are impressed, or you are narrating them to others. The Vakathamrutam, Tapta Jivanam, you are narrating to devotees. What is that? Mat Chitta Madgata Prana, etc. Bodhayanta Parasparam. Or Krishna's pastimes you are relishing by describing, or you are just Leela Pravesh. Your mind is absorbed there. So that's what you do. Done. So that is all possible by having faith and just serving. So Krishna's name, fame, qualities, pastime, they cannot be understood. What is that? Ata Sri Krishna Namadi, Nam Roop Gunalila Ityadi, Na Bhaved Grahyam Indriya. You cannot understand with your blunt material senses. Krishna's form, in front of, if you go in front of Rasbihari, okay, today dress, okay, what, yellow color, okay, fine. Okay, oh Lord, okay, please bless me, whatever, some prayer like that. But with eyes you cannot see Radha Rasbihari. But if you render service, Swayam, what is that? Sevan mukhe hi jivvado. If you engage in seva unmukh, you should not be seva vimukh. With the days, months, years passing by, we have to make sure our services are increasing. In the beginning days, we have a lot of passion, young body, 20-25 years. So we should engage in a lot of physical services. But as you grow middle age, like who was telling me? I think one of you were telling, I'll not tell the name maybe, that earlier it was easier for him to carry Gitas and distribute. But then now it is little difficult, body doesn't have that strength or whatever. And I have the similar realization. Earlier sometimes in my travels in India, I would carry 18 Bhagavatas, 20 Bhagavatas and all that, Trolley bag can be pulled. But in India in those years, 10-15 years back, we did not have these escalators and all that. On the bridge and all, you have to lift that bag. 18-20 Bhagavatas and all that, not so easy. But so much strength in the body, youthful body, it was easy. Now, I don't carry single Bhagavata. This time somehow I have brought one trolley bag. I have dared to bring 4 Bhagavaditas around, 4 or 3. Like that. I had brought, I think 4, then I thought, this is too much. I removed 1, I think. Maybe 3 I have brought. But otherwise I never carry Bhagavata, thinking that that's too heavy. 1 Bhagavata means 600 grams, isn't it? Yes or not? Nobody in BBT? You have not checked? Around 600 grams. English will be more, but Hindi, Marathi, 600 grams, I think. So 1 is half kg, more than half kg. If you carry 2, you are carrying. If you carry 4, you are carrying almost 5 kg. So it becomes difficult for lifting and all that. But then, what was my point was, what was earlier point? I got too much. Seven mukhi jevat. When you render service, in the early stages, we will be able to do a lot of physical services. Like you can carry a lot of books, you can distribute. But eventually in middle age, as you cross 35, 40, you may not be able to carry same number of Bhagavatas which you carried at the age of 20, 25. So then you can develop your ability to speak and impress Krishna on others' heart, and people will be coming forward, and you ask someone, somebody will give you 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Somebody may even sponsor entire temple for you. As you know, His Holiness late Maha Vishnu Swami Maharaj, Rajkot, he went and he said, what can we build Krishna's house? Like sometimes our own house also, no? A person in his own lifetime can build one house for himself. Or he considered success that I was renting a flat 2 BHK and now have purchased 3 BHK flat. This is like a big achievement. So what can we build house for the Supreme Lord? The palace for him? Impossible. So Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. Let us discuss. And with that, whatever number of disciples he had, he was discussing. And then after some days, one of the disciples went to market to purchase something. He purchased and last transaction was going on. Then the next customer was talking to the shopkeeper and said, my father... Hare Krishna. My father left body and my mother wants to build a Krishna temple in his memory and hand over to a person, but only to a person who is completely addicted to Srimad Bhagavatam and nobody else. And immediately disciples, what did you say? He said, my father left body and mother wants to build Krishna temple and hand over only to a person who is addicted to Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, come, I will take you. Then he took him, and in field somewhere underneath a tree, Maharaj was sitting with 10-15 disciples and fully absorbed in Bhagavatam. The way he was narrating hundreds of slokas, thousands of slokas, he knew by memory, and so absorbed, such love, faith, like that. That man said, yes, he's the one whom I will give that temple. And they built that old temple and gave it. So your vacha will be empowered eventually. And then eventually your mind also is completely pure. Just you can do a lot of manas seva. As Raghunath Das Goswami was instructed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that shloka, anybody knows? Manas se sada Radha Krishna. That is beginning, but eventually what he says? Hrudaye or Manase Radha Krishna Sevi, something like that. Isn't it? So that will be possible. So basically service we have to render. Then all this knowledge will be revealed automatically. Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj was illiterate, did not know how to write his name, Angutha Chap. And great scholars come and ask question, and he's quoting and he's giving answer, and they're all satisfied. How is it possible? Isn't it? Just by hearing and plus realizations. Krishna only gives from heart. Amazing things will be revealed. That revealed knowledge, you might have, revealed knowledge is the word, no? Prabhupada uses. Isn't it, in his books? Revealed knowledge? Revealed kya? Who is revealing? Prabhupada. Yeah, Prabhupada is also. But we may not get revelation of that till we serve and get blessings. So he is saying the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. Prabhupada's purport is small, we'll read. Actual knowledge of transcendental bliss can be bestowed upon anyone by a pure devotee. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakto. So by devotee only. Vedeshu durlabham. If you read all the Vedas, Krishna will not be found. Those Dvivedis who had come, Dvivedis or Tirvedis or Chaturvedis, who came to meet Prabhupada maybe in Krishna Balram temple Vrindavan. And Prabhupada asked, so what is absolute truth? They looked at each other, they looked at Swamiji. Swamiji, how can you? Absolute truth? So vast, inconceivable. How can you ask? First of all, how can you ask such a question? And who can answer this question? It will take a long time, and then also we cannot do justice. Then they were confused. Then Prabhupada called one Gurukuli boy and said, what is absolute? Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the absolute truth. Prabhupada said, very nice. Gave him cake and he went running. Prabhupada said, just see, a small child knows, and you after reading so many scriptures, you know, do not know. So that Saraswati also would do that. She would catch somebody's dhoti or sari, and that person would look and she would ask, you know who is Krishna? No, I don't know. Krishna is the supreme personality of God. That much one thing. And same thing she will do with everybody else. And Prabhupada said, she is the best preacher. So that is the ultimate conclusion. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So just practice bhakti and everything will be answered in due course of time when we are purified. Okay, we are reading here. One cannot attain the perfection of spiritual life simply by following the directions of the Vedas. One has to approach a pure devotee, anyabhilashita shunyam jnanakarma adi anartam. By the grace of such a devotee, one can understand the absolute truth, Krishna, and one's relationship with him. A materialistic person sometimes thinks that simply by executing pious activities and remaining at home, one can understand the absolute truth. This is denied in this verse. Nor can one understand the absolute truth simply by observing the rules and regulations of brahmacharya, celibacy. One only has to serve the pure devotee. That will help one understand the absolute truth without fail. So all of us are brahmacharis. So this has to be very clear, very clearly saying. Nor can one understand absolute truth simply by observing the rules and regulations of brahmacharya. We should observe rules and regulations, but by observing these rules and regulations, we will not be able to understand absolute truth. Why I am observing brahmacharya? Because my spiritual master wants me. He wants to preach all over the world to every human being and every other living entity, but alone he feels incapacitated. So he requires help. That's what is his humility. He can do it alone, but he is asking disciples to extend themselves. I want to extend because I am eager to receive his mercy. This is the way I will get his mercy. Anybody who serves, he gets something in return. Those who do job, they call it as service. क्या करते हैं आप? मैं सर्विस करता हूँ, है कि नहीं? Outside people, Bombay, Pune, all over like that. So if you serve, then you get something in return. प्रेम धन विना व्यर्थ दरिद्र जीवन दास करी वेतन मोरे देह प्रेम धन. In 28th chapter of Antilila, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is elaborating on 8 verses of Shikshashtaka. So there is, he is only Krishna, but he is in the mode of devotee. So he is praying to Krishna. Prem dhan, please. Vina, without that, vyartha, life is useless. Daridra jivan, most poverty-stricken people who don't have Krishna prem dhan. So he is saying, Das kari, oh Lord, please accept me as your servant. Vetan more, I will serve you. In return, you have to give me vetan, salary. Das kari, vetan more, deha prema dhan. Please award me Krishna prem dhan. So anybody who serves, he gets something in return. So I also want mercy of my spiritual master. So I want to extend. And as a brahmachari, I can extend a lot because whole day is more or less free. Isn't it? Like grihasthas get Sunday holiday or sometimes 5 days a week. So 2 holidays, Saturday, Sunday. And then they may come to temple and all. How brahmacharis, when is the holiday? Every day is holiday. Isn't it? And the services we do, that's not a job, it's not a chore and all that. It is fun. It's so much, isn't it? Like book distribution you go. So many friends you make. So many people may give you donations. So many may touch your feet. Your lotus feet will be washed. You will be given red carpet welcome. What not? Villages and all if you go, my God, they will put you on the top of the village, some tower. And if you are proud, you will fall down from there. And if you are humble, you will speak lecture from there. And many will take more books also. Those who did not take earlier, they will also take. So it's very jolly life. So one has to be clear, but brahmacharya, I will not go back to God. That is not, in 64 regulative principles, nowhere brahmacharya stress. Forget brahmacharya, sannyas is also not even touched. Isn't it? In 64 regulative principles. Okay, if 64 is difficult, then Mahaprabhu has condensed it to 5. What is that? Sadhu Sang, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Vas, Srimurtira, Shraddhaya Sevan. If you cannot do 64, okay, do 5. Like that. You will definitely become pure devotee. In fact, not 5, you can do 4. Not 4, 3. Not 3, 2. Not 2, 1 you can do for whole life. You will become pure devotee, you will go back to God. But in all 64 regulative principles also, there is no mention of sannyas even. What to speak of brahmacharya. So by brahmacharya, you cannot achieve Krishna. Krishna is not so cheap. But Krishna is achieved by Master's grace. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. Yasya aprasada nagati kuto api. So one has to be very clear about this principle and try to serve. Vina Mahat Pada Rajabhishekam. In commentary, Chakravarti says, one cannot attain the Lord without bhakti, attained by mercy of the devotees. So bhakti only. Bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga dhan, bhakti yai Krishna nama, smarana krandan. In Chaitanya Bhagavad, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, just like Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, thrice. So here also thrice. Bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga dhan. This is only dhan. This is only wealth. All other is perceived, considered, thought to be wealth, but it is not wealth at all. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, Prem Dhana Vina. Das kari vetan more deha prem dhan. So bhakti is that prem. Priti Sandarbha is the last Sandarbha written by JUHU Goswami. Before that, Bhakti Sandarbha. That is about Prayojan. First four Sandarbhas are about Sambandha Gyan. Tattva Sandarbha, Bhagavad, what Sandarbha? Paramatma Sandarbha. All Sambandha Gyan. Bhakti Sandarbha is the fifth one, talking about Prayojan. And the sixth, the last is Priti Sandarbha. This Abhideya. Bhakti Sandarbha is talking about Abhideya. How to practice Bhakti and how Bhakti is end all and be all and all that. And then last sixth is Priti Sandarbha. Prayojan it talks about. So there, what I was telling before that. So Bhakti is topmost. Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga Dhan. And Bhakti is what? Bhakti is Krishna Nam, chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And one step up, Krishna Smaran, remembering Krishna. Prabhupada says, chanting Hare, the easiest way to remember Krishna is to chant Hare Krishna. But we can see that we chant Hare Krishna, but we don't remember Krishna. Yes or not? Namakshara Bahu hai, Nama nahi hai. That is on higher level. One has to be purified at heart to have Krishna Smarana. And the highest level is Krishna Krandan, crying for Krishna, like a desperate cry of a child. Prabhupada says, na, this chanting is like a child crying for mother, and Mother Hara connects him to the Supreme Father, Hari, like that. So that is very difficult, desperately crying. NOD also Prabhupada says, this crying is a small technique and devotee can learn it to get Krishna. Tatra laulyam ekalam chamulyam. Intense greed. That intense greed is internal. Externally it will be manifest as crying for Krishna. So this is on highest level. Before that, remembrance of Krishna should be there. And before that, at least chanting of Hare Krishna should be there. So this is Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is topmost. One cannot attain the Lord without Bhakti. But how is Bhakti attained? Attained by the mercy of devotees. Isn't it? Some devotee comes in our life and he initiates our devotional service. And then officially, formally also we get initiated through pure devotee, spiritual master. This is explained in 2 verses. O King Rahugan, the 3 types of realization just mentioned cannot be attained by tapas or other methods. Tapas means concentration of the mind. Ijjaya means Vedic activities such as sacrifices. Nirvapanat means giving food in charity. Grahat means establishing shelters for helping others. Chandasa means by study of the Vedas. Jalagni Suryai means by performing austerities involving water, fire and the sun. They sit, they stand in the water. In Gangotri, Yamunotri, up to neck. My God. Whole body becomes like stone or ice. Vishwamitra Muni and others. So water or fire. He only would, other times in summer, sit on hot sand in the afternoon, having 7 circles of fire around his body. My God, sitting in hot sun or standing in hot sun in summer is so difficult. And that too on hot sand sitting. So much sweating like that. So in April 1998, first time I went to Jagannathpuri with His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj. So it was, Odisha is so hot. And in that April period, my God, it was so hot and we were sitting at Narendra Sarovar. For Maharaj, they had held umbrella above him and certainly they must have given, I don't know what it was, some mat, some asan must have was there. But for us, we were all sitting there only, there's nothing, no arrangement there. And so much we were sweating, that sweat was going in the soil was becoming muddy and the mud was touching our dhotis and saris and all. It was so difficult. And Maharaj mentioned also, it was so difficult heat, hot summer. Maharaj said also, it is big austerity. In one of the lectures he mentioned. It was very difficult. So that just for few days we were there and had so much difficulty. Here every day was practice for him, for Vishwamitra Muni. Fire and the sun also. They sit in hot sun and sun rays. Very difficult. So all these things are not required. Rahu Gane tat tapasa na yati na chejaya tapasa chejaya nirvapanad grahadva na chandasa jalagni suryar. It all will not lead to fruition, the desired result. Vina Mahat Pada Rajobhishekam. If Mahat says to you that you stand in the hot sun, then you stand. Then not that austerity will give you Krishna, but his blessing, his mercy will give you. Prabhupada said to, I think, Kitananand Swami once, that, or maybe to all devotees, that if spiritual master wants you to be underneath a tree and you want to be in palace, then that is sense gratification. If the spiritual master wants you to be in the palace, like heaven on earth, it's a very posh setting, even NVCC and all that. So if he wants you to be in palace and you are attached to be underneath, staying underneath a tree, then that is sense gratification. Just follow him, please him, and done. Okay, that will help one. Serving pure devotees. Here, did we read? Yeah, we read. Okay, 13th. So 11, 12, 13. The Lord's qualities, his abode and bhakti are truth. So here bhakti is told also. Commentary has said. And there also Mahat Pada Rajobhishekam. Bhakti we get only through Guru. So serving Guru is bhakti. And he will not tell just do serve me only, wash my feet. And that wash my feet once in a year, Vas Puja. And even if daily, that will not be. How much Vapu Seva assistance needs? How many assistants are required for Vapu Seva? His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is in unhealthy condition. His body is huge. So I think I have heard, 20 devotees are engaged every day. So 20 are required. So he is having difficulty because he has a infection problem. So every day, 6 times or so, the room cleaning has to happen. And napkins, everything. So you all know his condition of body. So he requires 20, personal servants that way. Which other guru requires 20? No, every guru can be served by one secretary, one personal servant. Okay, let's say cooking some Matajis, 2, 3, 4. One personal servant can take care, but let's say that. So 3, 4, 5 are good enough. So if every guru has thousands of disciples, what will other disciples do? They cannot jump on the body of guru to massage his body. The body will be finished. He will be hospitalized. So Vani Seva can be done. And that is available for all. Hearing him. Once His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj said also in the lecture that some Mataji or Grahastha couple had invited him. And Maharaj said, my only anxiety is I give classes in which I have kind of made, taken out the essence of the scriptures and I am serving all my disciples. But then few of them, they are going for cooking for me. And they miss the class. So they will cook something, rice, sabji, chapati, and they will feed me their whatever they have cooked. But what I have cooked, they are not going to test. You understand, no? Like that. So Vani Seva should be done very nicely. That pleases the spiritual master the most. And in fact, Prabhupada's number 1 qualification was that, for getting completely recognized by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Kosikala, when Prabhupada just somehow got 1 day gap when he was in Mathura or something. He thought Guru Maharaj in Vrindavan, let me go. And he heard him and it was bouncing on the head of everyone. And Prabhupada also says, no matter which language Bhaktivinoda Thakur spoke in, English, Sanskrit, Bangla, it was very difficult to understand. But then he gave class, long class, some 3 hours. Then there was an announcement that nearby is Sheshajai Vishnu temple. Those devotees who desire could go. Otherwise, Guru Maharaj is continuing. That was told first. Guru Maharaj will continue this class. And tomorrow he is going to Mathura and then onwards further on his preaching tour. So those who wish could continue. Otherwise, nearby there is Sheshajai Vishnu temple. And they can go. At once, 1,000 got up and left. Only few. There must be the sound system in charge. He has to, poor fellow. If the battery get discharged something, he cannot. Bhaktivinoda Thakur will, Simha Guru. So he will be finished then. And right hand, left hand, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, they have to be there. Like that. So only odd man out there was Srila Prabhupada. Was Grahastha in white dhoti kurta with hair, and he did not leave. And just little later, when he was introduced by Atulan Brahmachari in Prayagraj, that here is Abhay Babu, he desires to take initiation. He is a very nice fund collector. Because of his assistance only, we could build this Gaudiya Math here. That was the inauguration also, ceremony. And he wants to be initiated by you. Could you please initiate him? Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, yes, I know him. He is introducing him, Abhay Babu, Abhay Charan. He said, I know him. And he said, he is the greatest fund collector. He says, I have seen he does not leave. He hears very attentively. He did not mention anything about money. And third, could you initiate him? I already decided to initiate him. All his introduction, that was all side tracked or whatever. So that is the greatest qualification of the disciple, hearing. You in the Veda base, all of you have access, you hear, you type afterwards. Just sit down and hear. And you see what all Prabhupada says. It's very difficult to sit down and hear. Isn't it? Only those who are official candidates of this Bhakti Vaibhav course, I believe they are there. Anybody who is not officially Bhakti Vaibhav student? So he has certainly some test. Though he is not officially the member. He took out time, he came. He will not get anything for this. He doesn't have to give CB, OBA. He will not get any certificate. Nothing. But he has come. So it's very difficult. And spiritual master appreciates that the most. Any disciple having great taste for hearing. You can never please your guru as much as by hearing from him. Certainly that should not be at the cost of keeping aside other services, not doing them. They are also important. But hearing is the most difficult service. And one who hears, he will be able to chant. Chanting is the topmost because that's what he asked during initiation. But for that, a foundation background is hearing. So how much we can hear? Prabhupada could hear. Amazing. That book only, Her Grace Mula Prakuti's Mataji's book, that only talks about how, I think after this Gaudiya Math collapsed and all that, the disciples were all scattered. All court cases, printing presses were getting sold one up because money was falling short. The two groups, they were fighting in the court. So some sincere ones, Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Maharaj, so they were like nowhere. So then they took shelter here and there. So Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Maharaj took shelter of Prabhupada's house in Kolkata. Prabhupada was staying on ground floor and the first floor that was there, so that was made into Gaudiya Math. So Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Maharaj is staying there only. When he, I don't know what else he was doing. He might be going on preaching tour, but more or less everything was into fractions. So there was no place. So he was residing there. So every day Prabhupada would go at around 7 o'clock in the morning to Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Maharaj because he's a senior god brother, is very scholarly, and discuss scriptures with him. So 7 o'clock onwards, now 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, sometimes 12 o'clock, or maybe even 1 o'clock. So the personal servant of Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Maharaj is fed up because Guru Maharaj is not taking prasad because this Abhay Charan Babu has come and they are both discussing scripture. He has not taken prasad. So without Guru taking prasad, how can I take prasad? So he would come and said, what is this Guru Maharaj and Abhay Babu, please take prasad. It has been long. How many hours you will continue? He's requesting lovingly, but little, he has his personal servant, little bit lovingly is telling, please take prasad. Then they would remember, yeah, we have to take prasad also. So for hours and hours, Prabhupada would sit and discuss scriptures. Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Maharaj. So Prabhupada's earlier background you can know very nicely, which is not so much revealed in that book, Lilamrit, as much as in Her Grace Mula Prakriti Mataji's book. 25 years of research and interviews, recording, and unfortunately before publishing it, she left her body. So her husband and one another Mataji friend, they published it. But very nice. How many of you read that book? 2, 3. Others also I recommend. Very powerful book. And it is hardly, I don't know how many, 300-400 pages maybe, or even less than that. Worth reading it. You will be in ecstasy, floating in air. Your lotus feet will be on ground for others to take shelter, but you will elevate your consciousness very high. It's amazing to know about Prabhupada's life earlier. Okay, so that is 13th. What we discussed? No, 12th we discussed. 13th we did not, no? 13th. Yatrottama shloka gunanuvadaha प्रस्तूयते ग्राम्य कथा विघातः निषेव्यमाणो अनुदिनं मुमुक्षोर मतिं सतिं यच्छति वासुदेवे. Who are the pure devotees mentioned here? In an assembly of pure devotees, in the assembly of pure devotees, there is no question of discussing material subjects like politics and sociology. In an assembly of pure devotees, there is discussion only of the qualities, forms and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. In the association of pure devotees, by constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge into the existence of abandons this idea and gradually becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva. I'll read the purport also. The symptoms of pure devotees are described in this verse. The pure devotee is never interested in material topics. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has strictly prohibited his devotees to talk about worldly matters. Which shloka? Gramme katha na kohibe, shunibe, gramme varta na kohibe. Gramme varta, that is written there only. I did not see that. So I think some of you saw there. One should not indulge in talking unnecessarily about news of the material world. Necessarily we can talk, but not unnecessarily. You know that Prabhupada was, what they call? Fast car drivers, the racing. Some word is there, I don't. F1, I think, F1 driver. F1? Formula 1. Formula is something they call. So that person had come to meet Prabhupada, and so Prabhupada was introduced that he is like. So Prabhupada said what it means exactly. So he told him we have something like flat cars and then we drive with high speed. Then Prabhupada asked what all things, lot of inquiry and something like 1 hour discussion. Disciples who were around, they were shocked. What is this? Prabhupada said we should not do prajalpa. He himself, for 1 hour, what is the need of inquiring so much? So then Prabhupada, after 1 hour, asked many questions, and then he's exhausted, like nothing beyond that can be. He told everything. Prabhupada said, do accidents happen sometimes? Yeah, then this happens, that happens. Then Prabhupada said, this human body is exactly like car, and then he started telling. And because he had heard that person for 1 hour, now that person was ready to hear Prabhupada for hours and hours, because this Swamiji heard me, so I should hear him. And that person was very happy at the end of the whole. And then disciples understood. When Prabhupada turned around, he started speaking. Oh, it was like preaching is like, hook. You go and you connect to the person and then you pull him out. So like that. So Prabhupada was very expert in this. So where it is necessary, we can speak. If you see our Art of Mind Control seminar, in the beginning, so much of statistics we tell. What is the, murder rate in the world, gun sale rate, then divorce rate, isn't it? All that. So why do we talk? It looks like prajalpa only. Are you telling the worldly news? No. Then all this is because of uncontrolled mind. That's it. And mind should be controlled. So how to control? Then we can go on with our Bhagavad Gita, Chanchalami Mana Krishna. So many things can be spoken. But in the beginning, if you earlier I would hear his Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj Prerana lectures. Lot of statistics he would give. Whatever the topic is related to that, almost in the beginning. And afterwards somebody told me Gaurang Prabhu or somebody would go on internet and get all that information and give to Maharaj, and Maharaj would go through the whole thing, and then he would present just the essence what is required to be heard by the audience, young boys. So it was very nice, but then it was all for the purpose of connecting them to Krishna, Prabhupada, ISKCON, Bhakti, chanting, etc. It's very amazing skill. Where it is necessary, we could do it, but not where it is not necessary. Where were we? This is very okay. One should not waste time in this way. This is a very important feature in the life of a devotee. A devotee has no other ambition than to serve Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This Krishna consciousness movement was started to engage people 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord and in His glorification. You can underline or highlight. So why Prabhupada started this? One of the 7 purposes in one sense. 7 purposes doesn't talk, I think, like this. It directly doesn't tell. It's little indirect, official, formal language. Everybody will appreciate it. But here, directly Prabhupada's heart has come out. This Krishna consciousness movement was started to engage people 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord and in His glorification. My God. So first question is, am I engaged 24 hours? Forget 24 hours because 6 hours we sleep. Means some of you may be dreaming about Krishna in the sleep. But talking about 18 wakeful hours. How many of you feel that you are engaged 18 wakeful hours in services? Whatever service, physical, verbal, mental, that we earlier discussed. At least 15 hours, 12 hours. You are all very humble. Nobody will raise hand, I think, now, the way we have asked question. 8 hours, 5 hours. In in NVCC, I don't know how many brahmacharis are there, but seems like 100 plus. So Sundarshyam Prabhu and other managers found out only 60 brahmacharis are required to run the whole temple. There are already guards and all who are outside people, employees. Cleaners and all are employees only. Brahmacharis are not doing. So only 60 brahmacharis are required to run the whole temple, all throughout. So now all these extra are there. So Sundarshyam Prabhu is very eager to send them all out. Go here, go there, go in India, go in Maharashtra, go in Pune. 108 centers he wants to open in Pune. And we hardly, I don't know how many we have. Youth centers is one thing. Okay, we can consider that also. We may be having, I don't know how many centers to call. You have no, in ISKCON we have no that preaching program. Then what is it called? Namahatta, extension center. Then preaching center, then temple. Yeah, so like that. So at least outpost. Yeah, something like that. So but he wants at least 108 preaching centers. Temple we don't want because temple is maintenance is very difficult. So 108. So that he wants to send them, go out and do. So what we have seen, managers tell there, that on an average, every brahmachari has 3 to 4 hours of service daily. On an average. Some days they may be 10, 12 hours services. Other day may be nothing. Like bus party goes 15 days. They also take gap. Till 1 o'clock, I think they distribute books. 1 to 5 is off. They have class, they read. They may be taking prasad, 2 timers. And then they start again evening book distribution. So they also get 4 or 5 hours free daily. So it's very less engagement in that sense. Other times we only have to take initiative and we have to read scriptures. We can preach in campus. That is our campus, and campus preaching goes on there in Pune. Ashram said daily so many people are coming. 1,000 plus only come. US must be how much daily on an average? 7,000-8,000. And Saturday, Sunday will be like 20,000. So many brahmacharis can. If one brahmachari takes care of 1,000 people, 20 brahmacharis can be engaged on Saturday, Sunday. So are we having that, those many brahmacharis engagement? And 1,000 is too big. Who can cover 1,000 people? You may not be able to approach also because too much crowd will be there, Gaurati time. So 500 500 people per brahmachari, 40 brahmacharis are required. Are we having 40 brahmacharis engaged? Maybe not, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know. You have? No, not. And 500 per head is too much, isn't it? You imagine 500. Any day you meet 500 people, 1-to-1 basis, or 10, 20. You cannot have 30, 40. Then you need sound system. Then other brahmachari, are mera preaching. My voice is not heard. Chup baito. Shanti se. Like that. So, isn't it? So much scope is there. 24 hours engagement, Prabhupada is saying. At least I feel ashamed. I'm not that much engaged. Everything. Basically, that's what I said. Your body, your words, and your mind. Mind means then you chant also in the daytime, extra round. You read scriptures, and whatever else you want. You can hear lectures, audio lectures, video lectures. Or else, if you want, you can preach. You can do physical services. Backup is there. Just take a broom and start sweeping the whole campus. Even if there are official cleaners, in the daytime leaves may fall somewhere. That cleaner person may say that is only once in a day, that is already done. You can collect those leaves. A lot of services are unlimited. There is no dearth of it. Isn't it? So he is saying this. And I feel ashamed that I am not, mind is wandering all over the place. So you all please bless me, pray for me, that I will, 24 hours cannot be beginning, but at least let me be engaged 18 wakeful hours. 6 hours of sleep, we will see how we can be Krishna conscious in that. Prabhupada is saying this because he himself was practicing it. And disciples tell. Yeah. In fact, why the personal servant should change so often? Because Prabhupada was having such a lifestyle. He would fly from Australia to US or something, 17, 18 hours of flight, and the phase lag or whatever time lag is there, jet lag. For Prabhupada, nothing. Any place he would land, so what's the time here? So they would tell it is whatever, 4:30 in the evening. So Prabhupada would adjust his that 4:30. So what is the activity at 4:30? So Prabhupada, please give arrival address. Okay. He sits on the Vyasasana, some arrival address. So what's next? Then whatever. And then the person said, yeah, what about jet lag? We left in the daytime and we reached here in the afternoon time. What about whole night we did not sleep? So I want to take a rest. Nobody could cope up with Prabhupada. Very few. But they would also change after a few months and all that. Very difficult. Here only I think in Bombay and all, Prabhupada had 8 programs in one day. At least one day. Some other times I think 5 programs. Go to some Grihastha's house, give a lecture and talk to the family members, then go to another place. Somewhere take prasad also if it is prasadam time. And then give lecture and then next place. You get exhausted. How many of you experience of going like that 5-6 families or houses in different places, not just one after the other nearby. Traveling also. You have not? 1 or 2 days. At least with some senior you can go and see. Huh? Youth preachers, No, with some sannyasi you can just go and you can experience how difficult it is. Keep traveling. On one of the 15th August today, I gave 6 lectures. Morning to evening, 4 lectures to one group with little gap per person. And then I traveled to another place in Pune, 10-15 kilometers. I gave another youth class in that Bosri. And then I traveled another 10-15 kilometers to Chakan and gave lecture there and came back in the night, morning to night. And I felt really this was Independence Day, 15th August. Because whole day I was so Krishna conscious speaking. And it was informal time also, devotees were asking me questions in the sumo and all that while traveling also. So I thought, wow, this is the only Independence Day I can remember, memorable in my whole life. So it was in one sense physically a little exhausting also, but spiritually very nourishing. So with your blessings and prayers, maybe at least 18 hours I can be, wakeful hours I can be Krishna conscious. This Krishna consciousness movement was started to engage people 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord and in His glorification. The students of this institution, all of us, student means brahmachari, brahmachari in bracket Prabhupada writes, student life. The students in this institution engage in the cultivation of Krishna consciousness from 5 in the morning, for us 4:30 in one sense, to 10 at night. I many times, day rest, no question. I am so famous for sleeping early, it's not always, but that many times the organizers only tell, Prabhuji sleeps 8:30. They tell anything and I also feel shocked. I am not sleeping so early. But today for us, he sacrificed so much that even it is 9 or 9:30, he is there with us, and now he has to travel also to NVCC. So let us thank Prabhu ji. And I feel so embarrassed, my God. इतना सोता रहता हूँ कि organizer publicly telling all audience, 200, 300 people, everybody comes to know. And they are glorifying, हमारे लिए आपने इतना sacrifice. लेकिन it gives another idea also, ना, कि he sleeps like anything. बहुत जल्दी सोते हैं. Sometimes Rai Shamru in Brahmachari class he told, अरे you fellows, because sadhana card is there, na, sleeping early 9:30 के पहले. So some Brahmachari sleep quite early also. Rai Shamru said at least on festival days, Narsingh Chaturdashi, Ram Navami, the whole congregation is assembled in temple hall. They are dancing in late night Gaurati 9:30. And Brahmachari already before going for the katha, evening katha or Abhishek, he had put his mosquito net. And 8:30 it is or 9, he goes and sleeps in the mosquito net. Sukoon is the what you call the brand of that mosquito net. और सुकून की नींद लेता है हमारा ब्रह्मचारी. और उधर होल कॉन्ग्रीगेशन इज डांसिंग देयर, thousands of them. And kitchen department is taxed, इतना सब late night serving prasadam, wind up, washing pots and all that. And brahmachari so at least, on say festival days, please sacrifice your sleep. Sleep at 9:30, 10, which is not late anyway. So like that. They actually have no opportunity to waste their time unnecessarily by discussing politics, sociology and current events. My God, is it so? Actually, I feel I am wasting my life only, not days and months, whole life. These will go their own way. See Prabhupada's words. What will go their own way? Politics, sociology, current events, they will go their own way. All ups and downs will be there. Prabhupada says about politics, this party changing, election. Prabhupada says, so what is so great? Lion goes and tiger comes. Both will pounce on you and eat you only. Isn't it? Lion and tiger, difference is there. Bodies, Lion is the king of all the animals. Tiger is not called king of all the jungle animals. But what both of them do? They tear off your body and eat your flesh, kill you. So lion goes, tiger comes. It's more or less same. This will go on their own way. A devotee is concerned only with serving Krishna positively and seriously. My God. See the words. The devotee is concerned. Concern itself is a heavy word, isn't it? I thought. And I was concerned. Concern is heavy or not? Thought is, okay. Thought processing. Thoughts keep coming. One of the thoughts. I was concerned. So you see the word. A devotee is concerned only with serving Krishna positively and seriously. How much it puts pressure on all of us, isn't it? Anyway, I don't consider myself a devotee. That is saving grace. If I consider myself a devotee, I will be clean bold by these words of Prabhupada. A devotee is concerned only with serving Krishna positively and seriously. That's why Prabhupada